Have you ever noticed the noises that Japanese people make when they are having conversation? He, ho, fun, ge, uwa, hacha. Yare yare. Those noises that they make are called Aizuchi. Japanese people use Aizuchi in response to a comment. When someone said something, in response, I might say, he, そうなんだ. So that the speaker know that I'm following. There are many functions of Aizuchi. One very important and basic function is to show the speaker that I'm listening, I'm following, and I'm interested in the topic. If you don't use much of Aizuchi, Japanese people might think you're not listening. You're not interested in having conversation with me. So I've seen some foreigners, they don't use much of the Aizuchi, so the Japanese person who is speaking is discouraged. Because the person don't get much reaction from you. Japanese people, when they talk, they kind of expect some reaction from you. And if you don't give the reaction, some Japanese people might be discouraged. Maybe I shouldn't talk. Maybe you don't want to listen to me. So it is very important to use Aizuchi. Japanese people also use Aizuchi to encourage people to speak. Or also use Aizuchi to create enjoyable, comfortable atmosphere so people can have fun having conversation with each other. So if you want to learn Japanese and if you are interested in communicating with Japanese people, then you'd better learn how to use Aizuchi. So you can understand the Aizuchi that they use, and also you yourself can use the Aizuchi when you talk to Japanese people. So today I'm going to introduce you Aizuchi that is commonly used in Japan. The most common Aizuchi that people use is Aizuchi to show that you are following. Hai or Hai, doesn't necessarily mean that you are agreeing with what the speaker said. But you can say hai to show that you are following. Hai. You can also use but is too polite. So if you want to say impolite, you can just say hai. If you want to talk in casual form, you can just say You can also say ah. But sounds a little bit too impolite. So I don't think it is a good idea to use before you get the sense of Japanese. You may have noticed that Japanese people also often say そうですね、そうです、そうですよ、そうなんです. What are those? When you say そうです or そうですよ, you are saying that is right. When someone said something, yes, that's right. In this case, you can say そうです、そうですよ。すいません、要さんですか? はい、そうです。はい、そうですよ。Either way is fine. When do you use そうですね? そうですね is used when you want to say, oh yeah, right. When someone said something and you're agreeing with the comment, oh yeah, right. So have a little bit different kind of feeling from そうです. そうです is yes, what you're saying is right. そうですね is, oh yeah, that's right. When someone says, 今日は天気がいいですね. そうですね. Oh, weather is nice today. Oh yeah, right. This kind of feeling. There's also some others. One is そうなんです。そうなんですよ. This そうなんです and そうなんですよ had similar feeling. It's basically the same. そうなんです is used when someone said something you wanted to say or you wanted to explain by yourself. For example, there's a one ramen place you like. You wanted to tell other people that, man, like this ramen place is so good. When you talk to a person, then that person told you, oh, there's a ramen place nearby. That ramen place is really good. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, that place is really good. In this situation, you can use そうなんですよ. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, actually that place is really good. そこのラーメン屋とても美味しいですよね。そうなんですよ。Yeah, actually, that's the case. I know. That's when you say そうなんですよ when someone made a comment about something that you also wanted to say. But そうなんですね is different. そうなんですね is used when someone said something that you didn't know and you understand. Okay, now I understand. That's when そうなんですね is used. Oh, I didn't know. Now I know. That's the meaning of そうなんですね. There is also one other form that people often use about そうなんです type. そうなんですか and そうなんですか? Okay, when you say そうなんですか, that is also used when someone said something that you didn't know before. It's as if saying in English, oh, I didn't know that before. It's not a question sentence, so I'm not asking a question even though you're using か at the end. そうなんですか. そうなんですか is, oh, I didn't know that before. Is the meaning of そうなんですか. You can also ask a question using that. そうなんですか is asking question. It's like, is that so? I didn't know that. And I ask you, oh, is that really so? Is that so? Is そうなんですか the usage. People often use へー with そうなんですか. へー、そうなんですか. へ is also an Aizuchi people very often use. へ is used when you learn something interesting. You said something, I said へ That gives you a feeling that, oh, really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Is what this へ conveys. People often use へ with そうなんですか、そうなんですね to put emphasis that I didn't know that before. へえ、そうなんですか。私、アホなんですよ。へえ、そうなんですか。People often use other expressions with へ。Something like 知りませんでした。知らなかったです。知りませんでした。知らなかったです means I didn't know that before. So, へえ、そうなんだ。知りませんでした。Oh, really? Is that so? Oh, I didn't know that before. This kind of feeling. If you feel like you learned something from what someone has just said, you can also say 勉強になりました or 勉強になった。へえ、そうなんですか。勉強になりました。means I learned something. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that before. Oh, now I learned something interesting. Is the feeling it conveys. There's also similar Aizuchi. That is, ふーん. ふーん has a similar vibe, but less enthusiastic. Hey, it's like, oh, really? Is that so interesting? ふーん is like, oh, yeah? So it gives less enthusiastic feeling. Oh, yeah? Is that so? There's another one. Ah, so, or あっそ. あっそ is used when you don't care. It's like in English you say, whatever. 今日私の誕生日なんですよ。あっそ。ねえ、私、彼氏ができたの。あっそ。ほう is a way of saying, oh, that's interesting. When someone said something, you want to say, oh, interesting. People sometimes say, ほう. But ほう has a little bit snobbish vibe. So it's not that everyone uses it. When you are not following, when you don't understand what someone said, you can say, ha. You got to be careful here. You wouldn't say, ha. Ha. Ha is a very offensive way to say, I don't understand. When you say, ha, it's like, I don't understand. For example, if you go to government office and do all the paperwork, someone is explaining you something about the documents and you don't get it. Oh yeah? I don't get it. In this kind of situation, you can say, ha. When you say ha, it's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm not following. Is the meaning of ha is also very often used. But don't say ha. Ha is a very offensive way to say, what are you talking about? Are you an idiot? Are you stupid? I've seen some foreigners casually say, ha, ha, but that sounds very impolite in Japanese. It's like, are you an idiot? What are you talking about? So don't use ha unless you want to offend someone. You can put emphasis on this ha by extending the vowel. Ha is also as offensive as ha. ねえ、100万円貸してくんない? Ha? So I don't recommend you to use. Now I'm going to explain you many different types of One kind of is This is same as hi, but very polite. And you can say like what? When someone said something and you didn't understand or you didn't hear, so what? What was that again? 何? You can also use when you are surprised. When someone said something, 私、妊娠したの. To show that you're surprised. There's exaggerated version. That means you're very surprised. 私、妊娠したの. So you use when you're surprised. So people often use with 本当? マジ? 嘘? 本当? マジ? 嘘? To express the feeling that I cannot believe it. Also can express unwillingness. When a teacher said, today I haven't told you guys, we're gonna do a test. Unwilling student's gonna say, it's like, I'm not willing to do that. I don't like to do that. 外にご飯食べに行くか。私、寿司食べたい。そばにしよう。寿司がいいな。わかったわかった。じゃあ寿司ね。So, can show your unwillingness to do something. So, the difference between the surprised and unwillingness is surprised is and unwillingness is When Japanese people talk and when they are looking for words, thinking about how to explain what to say, they might say they also often say ね to show that I'm thinking. There's also similar Aizuchi that is と that is also used when you are thinking something. When we go to a bar, what do you want to drink? Beer? Sake? Whiskey? ね is used to show that let me think. I'm thinking. ね And when people cannot make decision, like thinking hard, which one should I choose? People also say, どうしようかな means, which one should I choose? What should I do? どうしようかなビールにしようかなウイスキーにしようかなワインにしようかな When you decided, you can say 決めた In polite form, you can say 決めました is I decided something. I decided. 決めたビールにしよう When you remember something, you can say そうだ Oh, right. I now remembered something. そうだ、今日お父さんの誕生日だったんだ。忘れてた。Soda can be used even when you are talking in polite form because when you say soda, you're not directing this word to someone else. You're talking to yourself, so you don't have to use polite form. No one says そうです when they came up something. When you find something or remembered something, you can say, on the street, you found someone you know. 田中さんだ You can say, now I found something. You can also use it when you remembered something. 今日お父さんの誕生日だった So, when you remembered something, you can use with soda together. そうだ、今日宿題あるんだった And one thing you should notice, when you remembered something, you use past tense. 今日宿題あるんだった to put emphasis that I remembered it now. 今日宿題あるんだった。今日お父さんの誕生日だった。When someone reminds you something, for example, there's a name of the band you forgot. What was the name of the band? Do you know the band? something something. When your friend reminds you the name of the band. And finally you remembered. Ah! So this ah is used when someone reminded you something that you wanted to remember. Ah! Do you remember Tanaka in high school? Tanaka? Who was that? The Tanaka, that who was dating Yamada. Ah, Tanaka ne, 思い出した. So this ah is used when you finally remember something, when someone reminded you something. So you often use this ah with 思い出した or わかった to show that you now remembered it or now I know. Ah, 思い出した. Ah, わかった. People use ah when they want to express a wish of something. For example, I wish I had a lot of money. ああ、もしお金がいっぱいあったらな。When you took an exam and you wish you can pass the exam. ああ、試験に合格できたらな。So when you want to say, I wish something happens, people often use to put emphasis on the emotion. This is also used when someone screw up something. When a friend of mine spilled a cup of wine on his clothes. In this case I say, やっちゃった to show a regrettable emotion towards something already have done. You screwed up. People drinking, having fun, but some person drunk and made someone cry. You made her cry. 泣かせちゃった. So you can use when someone screw up something. People use あら when they realize something, when they found something. あら is feminine Aizuchi. Usually women use it. Just like あら、田中さんじゃないの when you realize the time is already late. あら、もうこんな時間。あら、雨が降ってきた。You can also use あらあら when you realize something, when you found something. Also, people use あらあら when something bad happened to somebody and when you want to show sympathy or pity. A little kid running around and fell, hit the face, and the kid was crying. あらあら. People also use あらあら when they found something cute. You went to your friend's place and the friend has a very cute little puppy. Oh, cute dog, cute puppy. You can say, あらあら、かわいい犬だね. Or baby. あらあら、こんにちは. When you are surprised, you can also say, まあ or あらまあ. This is also female language. Men usually don't use that. When you hear some news that surprise you, you can say, but you can also say, あら. But あら has more ladylike, sophisticated ladylike feeling. Some kawaii girl might say, Some sophisticated lady say, あら、田中さんのとこ子供生まれたんですって。あら、ねえねえ、田中さんとこの旦那浮気してたんですって。あらまあ。People also say in a situation like, see a very beautiful flower. まあ、この花とても綺麗だわ。People use あれ when they realize something is not right. Something is not right. Where's my phone? あれ俺の携帯は When I met a good friend, I've known him for a while and he has been wearing glasses for his entire life. But when I met him now, I realized that he's not wearing the glasses. あれメガネは俺、目手術したんだよね。So when you felt something is not right or something is not normal, you can say, あれ Where's my wallet? あれ俺の財布は People use get when they found something bad or when you are in a bad situation. For example, you woke up, realized you overslept. My boss will get mad at me. Get 寝坊した This is get often used with やばいまずい Get やばいやばいまずい both put emphasis on that you're in a bad situation. I'm really in a terrible situation right now. Get When you realize that your wallet is stolen. げ、俺の財布盗まれた. You can also use げ in a situation like when you found something you don't like in a ramen. げ、このラーメンパクチー入ってる. You can use うわ when you are disappointed at something. You took exam and you wanted to see the result and found out there is no your name, which means you didn't pass the exam. うわ、俺の名前がない。うわ often used with 最悪, especially relatively young people tend to use this word 最悪. It's like you wanted to go to Disneyland this weekend, and originally this weekend you are not supposed to work, but suddenly your boss calls you. You got to come to work this weekend as well, and you got really disappointed. うわ、最悪。今週末仕事入った。So, うわ is used when you are really disappointed at something. People also use うわ when they are surprised. People often use うわ with びっくりした which means I'm surprised. You scare someone. And someone says, うわ、びっくりした。When you make a mistake, you can say あっちゃー、あちゃー、あっちゃー。あちゃー、せっかく買った高級和牛焦がしちゃった。あちゃー、ホテル予約するの忘れてた。People use あちゃ when they made a mistake. There's also similar expression that is しまった。しまった is used when you realize that you made a mistake. しまった、犬に餌あげるの忘れてた。Difference between acha and shimatta is acha has the feeling of, what should I do? I made a mistake. Shimatta is used at the moment when you realized you made a mistake. So it's more like, oh shit. Acha is like, oh, what should I do? Oh my god. Shimatta is like, oh shit. When you are impressed at something, you can say, oh. When you saw some great performance, oh. People often use oh with すごい. Oh, すごい. Some girls in the same situation, they might say わー、わー、すごい。かなめさん、日本語話せますか？私の名前はかなめです。わー、すごい。やれやれ is used when someone is so helpless that you need to give hand reluctantly. For example, when a child broke his toy and he is crying, he is so helpless. I might say, やれやれ、しょうがないな。わかったわかった。じゃあ新しいのまた買ってやるよ。やれやれ is okay, okay. So やれやれ is used because someone is so helpless.That person cannot overcome his problem by himself because you cannot solve the problem by yourself. Okay, I'm gonna help you. This kind of situation people use やれやれ。ごめん、私、鍵なくしちゃった。今日泊まっていい？やれやれ。People often use やれやれ with しょうがないな。わかったわかった to show okay, I understand. There's no other way out. ママ、このおもちゃ壊れた。また新しいの買って。やれやれ、しょうがないな。わかったわかった。More is used when someone had enough of something. For example, I convinced my friend to go eat ramen with me. Hey, let's go to ramen place. I don't want to go there alone. Yeah, let's go. No, I'm on diet. I don't want to go. Please go with me only this time once. I said I don't want to go. Please. もうしつこい. So when you say もう, it's like, I had enough. Enough is enough. もうしつこい is used when someone is too persistent. もうしつこい. Hun is a way to show that you are angry in a cute way. When a boyfriend is teasing his girlfriend and this girl want to pretend that I'm angry, you can say hun. So hun. Girls also use fun to express that I don't care about you anymore. ねえ、アイスクリーム買ってあげるからさ、許して。You can say てへ to show that you're embarrassed. For example,You ate my cake. You ate my cake. You're supposed to say, I'm sorry, but instead some girls say, てへ To show, I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed. てへてへいいな is used when you are envious of something. 俺、宝くじ1000万円当たったんだ。いいな私、明日からハワイに1週間行くんだ。いいな So, いいな is used to show your feeling of envy. People use まあまあ to calm someone angry down. Someone is angry, まあまあまあまあ calm him down. まあまあまあまあまあ Well, you can also use まあまあ to calm down someone who's very upset. Even someone who is crying. まあまあまあまあ大丈夫だから大丈夫だから泣かないで There's also similar expression that is どうどうどうどうどう is used to calm animal down A horse, excited, upset どうどうどうどうどうどう So this どうどう is used to calm down an animal But people often use to calm down some people As if they're calming down an animal For example Your friend is drunk and he's behaving badly. He's upset and he's angry. Oh, do. As if I'm calming down an animal. The last Aizuchi I want to talk is 舌打ち. This clicking noise that people make is very offensive. In Japan, people use to show that you are frustrated, irritated, you are angry.So this is very impolite and very offensive in Japanese. はい、これ、今週の給料。So I don't recommend you to use this 舌打ち because in Japan, 舌打ち is very offensive. お、山田じゃん。久しぶりだね。今何してんの？あら、たっちゃん。久しぶりだね。今私仕事から帰るとこ。今保険会社に勤めてるんだ。へえ、そうなんだ。たっちゃんは？俺は今車の整備会社で働いてるよ。ふーん。給料いくらもらってんの？月22万くらいかな。ふーん。山田は？お前いくらもらってんの？私は80万くらいかな。うわぁ、すごいじゃん。いいなぁ。ねえ、俺と結婚して。やだよ。お金欲しいだけじゃん。いや、山田。お前今、すごい可愛いよ。ふん、うるさい。たっちゃん今、彼女いないの？それがさ、別れたんだよ。だから付き合って。もう、しつこい。冗談だって。そうだ、今週末、りょうたとか山崎とかと一緒に飲むんだけど、行かない？りょうたって誰だっけ？中学の野球部の坊主のやつ。覚えてない？思い出した。どう？久しぶりにいろいろ話そう？でも他に女の子いないんでしょ？山崎の奥さんが来ると思うよ。そうなんだ。どうしよっかな。お前の友達も誘っていいよ。そうだ、LINE 交換しよう。あれ俺の携帯は？しまった。さっき JR に忘れてきたかも。どうするの？ごめん。ちょっと携帯貸して。今バス会社に電話する。まあ、しょうがないな。ありがとう。すぐ返す。やれ。雨降ってきた。ひとまず建物に入ろう。そうだね。あっちゃー。傘持ってくんの忘れた。そう。あれ？財布もない。財布もバカじゃないの？てへじゃないよ、このアホ。